welcome everyone. Today we are taking a look at RCS drums. Red Pack Drums RCS Essentials. Full disclosure, Red Pack Drums sent me this drum library for free. Other than that, they have not seen this video before I'm releasing it, and this is my complete honest opinion, and they are not paying me to make this video. The only thing I got was this drum library for free, so thank you to Red Pack Drums for that. And let's just dive right into it. First thing, when you install Red Pack Drums RCS Essentials, is that you need to have Contact. It works within the free Contact player, so there is no additional cost. Personally, I don't really like Contact player, but I haven't had any issues with Contact and RCS drums so far, so I guess that's okay by me. We have this this dashboard here, and I guess we can start by going through the drum selection. As you can see, this isn't Superior Drummer. You don't have hundreds and thousands of different drums to choose from. This is kind of more limited, but as I will get into later in the video, limiting factors often are creative enhancers, if that makes any sense. So at least you're not getting into any situation where you just don't know what you're going to choose, because there's so many things to choose from. You just have to choose something and go with it. So we can choose between mahogany, maple, and spruce. We got this mahogany kick, and you can choose between the beaters on the kick, wood, felt, and wool. Not the hugest difference, but slight difference. So you got some different ones to choose from. I went for the mahogany and wood beater. Snares, there's a decent selection of snares, I would say. So there's different ones, and you got this hit strength. Don't know if that actually makes a difference here. Doesn't sound like that's actually doing anything right now, but I don't care. This is just for demoing the drums. Snares sound really good, I think. Also, along with the kick drums, they sound decent. I like them. You also have a selection of toms. For some reason, I didn't figure out how I could preview them from this menu, but that's no big deal. Cymbals, I really like the cymbals on this kit. I think cymbals are something that sounds... some drum libraries just have bad cymbals that sound very programmed. These cymbals sound very natural. They have this really smooth high end, which I really like. And there is a small selection of cymbals to choose from. Moving on from that, we have some grooves. I personally never use these pre-made grooves, but at least there are some grooves if you're into that kind of thing. You got the MIDI assignments, if that's something you want to mess with, especially if you're connecting it to an electronic drum kit. We got a humanize check here, which is always a good idea. And then we have the mixer, and the mixer is something that I enjoy, because we're getting back to this limitations become creativity thing that I was talking about. We got this selection of channels here, and we got the This is kind of the bus, general volume bus for all the drums. Let's just solo the drums. So here you can just manage the levels, and then we got the close mics, and we got the overheads, room mics, characters, squash, and beef. And these are kind of things that don't really tell me a lot, but I found it really useful to just mess around with it and come up with something kind of new instead of just sticking to the same EQ curves over and over again. So if we kind of have a look at the kick drum and we solo the close mics, you can hear that that's kind of more like the higher mid-range sound of it. And you can also look at you can solo the kick drum on the overhead mic. Also in the kind of slappy mid frequencies, we can solo the kick on the room. There we kind of got the short reverb-ish sound from the kick, and then comes the character. Really quiet, but it's kind of a bit like the room mic. And we got the squash, which I have just completely nullified here. For my mix right here, I just found that it sounded the best cutting that out. But as you can hear, it's kind of that completely compressed, limited, brick wall limited sound of the kick drum. And then we got the beef, which is kind of the sub frequencies. And for each of these, we can go into the FX. We can do a transient designer, tape saturation, parallel compression, spark, smack, reverb, plate, and room. You got these kind of controls that I'm not used to using, but messing around with them just kind of helped me create something new, and helps me with not just chasing the same standard drum sound that I'm always going for. Same with the squash. You can go in and you can use the same effects here. As you can see, I haven't really messed around a lot with those on this mix. On the kick, on the character, we can also, and we can use the EQ, which is also kind of a weird EQ from what I'm used to, because it's not just the standard graphical EQ that I usually use. You got a high pass filter, you got a low frequencies, low mids. You can mess around with those, and you can do this for all of these different mics. And as you can see here on the close mics, I've gone in and done stuff, and let's just unsolo that. So just on this close mic here, I just did what I could to kind of enhance the smack on that one. And if I want to, I can go into the beef, which is kind of the sub frequencies of the kick. And we can, as you can see, I've also been kind of messing with these. So yeah, you can do stuff here, and you don't really need to know what you're doing, because you can just mess around with it and find something that sounds good. As you can probably tell, I'm not the most technical person when it comes to mixing, and that is one of the reasons why I find this mixer to be very easy to manage and friendly for me, who isn't really the most technical of guys, and I'm not really used to mixing real drums. So yeah, I really like this mixer. It gives a lot of opportunities, and it kind of forces me to work in a way that I haven't worked before, which just ends up enhancing the creative level. So let's just go and unsolo this. And sounds like I've soloed something here. Yeah, that's the one. So over to what do I actually think about the sound of this. I happen to think that this drum kit really sounds different in a good way. When using it, I kind of got the feeling of playing with a real drummer and not just a programmed drummer, if that makes any sense. It just sounds different, and I like it because I've been using Superior Drummer and Easy Drummer pretty much since I started making metal music, and so this was kind of a very nice change. I've recently been getting into a few other drum libraries as well, like Crim drums and the drum sample libraries from Panda Sound, and well, they're all great. This one kind of sounds more natural and less processed to me, and I'm just I'm looking forward to experiencing and getting more experience with this sound and using it for more of my mixes and not just for this demo. But just listen to how it doesn't sound perfect, and that's a good thing, if that makes any sense. And I just found out with the simple mix here. It just blends well into the mix. The kick kind of sounds a bit more old school, doesn't sound like that super massive, thumpy metalcore kick that you're all used to. It gives me more vibes going back to the 90s and kind of earlier mixes, but again, you don't always want to chase that same drum sound. Sometimes you want something different, and I really like this kit for being different. So yeah, I think that kind of concludes my overview. If there's anything that I wish was different about this, it might be a limitation in the contact player, but I would love to be able to return a fader to 0 if you double click it, which is kind of a standard in Reaper effects, because let's say I had this fader just right here and I wanted to quickly go to 0 with it. There's no way I can get this, as far as I know, to 0. So yeah, I would love to be able to return faders to 0. That same goes with the panning and different controls. I would love to just double click them to 0. Other than that, of course, if you want to, you can route all these out to separate tracks in your DAW and mix them separately and kind of completely bypass the mixer in this drum library, if that's what you want to get more control. But if you do end up getting this, I would encourage you to try out these mixer features, because they force you to think differently, and I have barely just scratched the surface, on this. Been really busy working on new music and my full-time job other than music. So I would really recommend RCS Essentials 2 if you are looking to get something new and something very user friendly. And yeah, you can just basically listen to my demo, and if you like this kind of drum sound, then this is what you're getting with this. And of course you can do a lot more with the processing and make it a lot more punchy and powerful than what I have. But if you want to work around with some kind of like limitations and force yourself to work in new ways, then this is absolutely something I would encourage you to try out. So with that being said, just gonna play through the demo again, and you can choose for yourself and leave a comment below if you have any questions about it, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya.